Hello, Dikus. I hope you're ready for the next one. And this one is going to be from our big, thick monstrosity of a book again. And it's going to be The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Underwater Adventure. And I hope you're ready. And you're ready for bed. You're drinking your nunu or you're about to. And you're going to brush after this, right? Okay. Here we go. Ariel's Underwater Adventure. One afternoon, Ariel was hunting for human treasures in a graveyard of old sunken ships with her best friend Flounder. "Come on, Flounder!" shouted Ariel as she swam into one of the ships. "Let's look in here. Are you sure it's safe?" asked Flounder. "Sure," answered Ariel. "Follow me." Inside, Ariel found a chest full of treasures. "Oh, Flounder," Ariel gasped, have you ever seen anything this wonderful in your entire life?" Inside the chest, Ariel found a fork. "Wonderful! A fork? And a pipe. This is great!" the little mermaid cried. She put the objects into a pouch. "I don't have any of these in my collection yet." Just then Flounder heard a noise. "What was that?" she cried. "I didn't hear anything," said Ariel, who was too busy looking for more treasures to notice any strange sounds. Trembling with fear, Flounder peeked outside the doorway of the ship. There was a huge mouth full of sharp teeth. It was a shark. "Ooh! They better swim fast." "Shark!" screamed Flounder as she raced back inside. Ariel grabbed her bag of treasures. She and Flounder swam quickly to the upper deck. The shark followed, snapping its jaws. Ariel and Flounder squeezed through one of the ship's portholes. Ariel and Flounder thought they were safe, but the fact that the porthole was too small for the ferocious shark to fit through didn't stop it for a minute. It crashed right through the side of the ship and continued after them. The mermaid and her little companion were swimming as fast as they could, but they could barely stay ahead of the shark's terrible jaws. Then the shark lunged at Ariel and Flounder. It missed them, but its strong jaws snapped the ship's mast as if it were a matchstick. Ariel and Flounder swam as fast as they could toward a huge old anchor that was wedged in the ocean floor. The shark was right behind them, snapping all the way. "I hope this works," Ariel said with a gasp. "Me too," cried Flounder. When they reached the anchor, the two friends slipped through the ring at the top. The shark tried to follow, but it was too fat and big fat, and it didn't fit through. It was stuck. "Look, it's stuck, you big fat shark." "Let's get out of here," said Ariel. "We can head up onto the surface to show Scuttle my new treasures." On the surface, Ariel and Flounder visited with their friend Scuttle the seagull. Ariel pulled one of her new treasures out of her pouch. "Do you know what this is?" Ariel asked. Scuttle handed him the fork. "Why, certainly," replied Scuttle. "After all, I'm the world's greatest expert on humans. This is a dingle hopper. Humans use it to straighten their hair like this." Scuttle ran the old fork through Ariel's hair. "That's not a comb," but the bird didn't know. Scuttle didn't know. He called it a dingle hopper. That's funny. "What's this, Scuttle?" asked Ariel, handing him the pipe. "This is most definitely a snarfblat," he answered. "It's used to make music." Scuttle blew into the pipe, but nothing came out except water. Nothing worse than a defective snarfblat," he cried. Ariel didn't care if the snarfblat worked. She was just excited to have more human treasures to add to her collection. She and Flounder said goodbye and to Scuttle and headed to Ariel's secret underwater cave where she hid all her human treasures. Suddenly, the cave got very dark. Ariel looked up and noticed something on the surface of the water, blocking out the moonlight. "I'm going to see what this is," Flounder said. Ariel, as she began swimming away, Flounder followed Ariel. On the surface, they saw a very big ship. "Right there. How beautiful it is!" she exclaimed. "We've got to get a closer look." Ariel and Flounder swam over to it. Scuttle, who had also seen the ship, flew over for a better look too. Ariel and Scuttle reached up and peered over the side of the ship while Flounder looked on from the water below. Ariel saw a young man. He watched as his shipmates were singing and dancing. "I've never seen a human this close before," said Ariel to Scuttle. "He's very handsome, isn't he?" she added, looking at the young man and the sailors called Prince Eric. "He looked kind of hairy to me," said Scuttle, eyeing Prince Eric's sheepdog Max. But Ariel didn't hear Scuttle. All she could think about was the handsome young man she had just seen. Ariel was falling in love. Suddenly, without warning, a big storm came up. Rain poured down, lightning flashed, and the wind tossed the ship like a toy boat. Ariel watched Prince Eric as he and his crew tried to keep the ship afloat. As the ship tossed and turned in the water, a bolt of lightning struck the mast. The burning mast collapsed into the keg of gunpowder. The explosion threw Prince Eric overboard into the raging waves. The prince shouted, "Ariel!" Prince Eric sank under the water. Ariel knew that if she didn't act at once, her handsome prince would drown. Ariel dived into the sea. She grabbed Prince Eric and brought him back up to the surface. Holding him tightly, she swam to the shore and dragged him onto the sandy beach. While the prince lay sleeping, Ariel stroked his hair and sang him a beautiful love song. How Ariel wished she could be with Prince Eric in the human world. Before the prince began to stir, Ariel heard his shipmates coming. She knew she had to leave before she was seen by the humans. Blowing the prince a kiss, Ariel turned and dived back into the ocean. Ariel and Flounder returned to her secret cave. The little mermaid looked around at all her treasures. "Oh, Flounder," said Ariel, "Prince Eric is so handsome, I can hardly wait until I see him again." Flounder just smiled. Ariel combed her hair with her dingle hopper and wished for the day when she would be with her human prince forever. The end. Okie dokie. You know what? Now it is time for bed and say good night. And just to everybody. Give everyone a hug and a kiss. And go brush your teeth. Make sure they're all clean. All the buggies are out before you go to bed. In your own bed, like big girls. In your big girl bed. I love you. Just